See, so yeah, you got to look at.
I was kind of
Your
that.
attitude.
I was that guy.
Your attitude probably
A little bit.
got you into some of your problems, believe it or not.
A little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the big
You would
problem?
know more than me if I was actually more that arrogant, that level of it.
Well, I think kids don't. I think kids in general don't know the difference between confidence and arrogance.
True.
I don't think it's something they can perceive because no kid is. There's not a lot of kids that are quietly confident.
In high school, all those kids thought they were something special. He came in and showed them they were not. So they did learn that at that point. It's just there is a teenage
but
stage
they
where
don't
you don't
know.
have the maturity to know how to handle it.
No. That means like, I'm guessing that every one of those kids looked at Xavier and thought he was cocky. They thought he was arrogant.
Right.
And there were probably moments
There were
when you
probably
were
moments that I
a
was.
little more cocky and a little more
Definitely.
arrogant.
And he backed it up, though. That was the
And he
problem
backed
that
it up,
crushed
But
him.
I could.
And that's what I mean. I think there's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
Man.
But I don't think children are able to perceive it. And I don't think...
I'm not sure some adults can perceive it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Because confidence and arrogance, the difference between confidence and arrogance is you can hear arrogance,
Exactly.
you can see confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence, you don't need to say nothing.
Man.
You don't need to say a word. That's all you got to do.
True.
That's how you can always tell fake SEALs, Navy SEALs.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there
They got
running
their
their
running
mouths
mouth
and all
and
the
shit.
missions and shit they've been on. You're like, you ain't no real SEAL. You need to go
Yeah.
away. I've met real SEALs in my
I
20
never
years in the
really was
Navy.
out there. I never
they
really
don't
talked
talk.
a lot. I never really
Yeah.
ran my mouth a lot about. I never really ran my mouth off about shit. I was always up. I was really about like, I'll just show you.
Yeah.
But I worked harder than everybody else, and I say that shit regularly. Like, dude, I'm at the gym, and I work harder than you all the time, dude.
I do actually want to ask you about this Navy thing because it's interesting to me. I mean, like when you said that, you take all these guys, you just put them on a boat,
Mhm.
and they're going to figure shit out.
Yep.
Because they're going to be on a boat for 6 months together.
Yep.
I have a cousin who was in the Navy for, he did 6 years, and he was doing tracking on the Nimitz. So he was on a carrier.
Oh, so he was in a small town. Okay.
What was it?
5,000
Yeah,
people.
You lived on a small town.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Small town. Yeah, 5,000
And that's kind
people.
of what I was going to ask you. It's like, do you really think it's just, well, there are a couple different things. So do you think it was just the fact of putting people together?
No.
Do you think it was the fact, like, it's a job,
Nope.
so you kind of have to get along with people? Or, I mean, I think the third option is that you're also probably introduced to, if you're that guy who's never met a black guy in your life,
Mhm.
you're also introduced to, well, let's say, A, first, really great black guys. B, you're also probably introduced to black guys that are your commanding officers.
Yeah, I had a couple.
Yeah.
I worked for many. There were many senior people over me
Absolutely.
in my 20-year career. There was no. Yeah.
And see, that's something that I think is a big deal. So I think that, like, when we're talking about schools and stuff like that, like, that's totally
Right.
one thing. But I honestly think that, like, I think that white people, right, or all people, let's say, oh man, the big thing to me is I had black role models as a kid. I had black people who were involved in my life on a daily basis. I had black teachers. I had black college professors when I got older. I had a black Washington County sheriff as a teacher in high school, right? And so I think that's really the issue, is finding people of other races that you can look up to and idealize beyond the obvious, like, rappers and
Right.
sports figures and stuff like that, but like people you're really going to interact with and have a relationship with.
See, the thing that tears me up about that is the role model should be in the home. The role model should be the father.
But what if your father's a piece of shit?
Well, then, that sucks. I had a great dad, and he and I were in it together from the 6th grade on. And all I can say is, My dad was one of those guys where it was like, homework needs to be done, chores need to be done, you need to be getting up and going to school. You're 12, figure the rest of the shit out.
Right.
Okay. So, I did it with one parent, but I had a dad. Now, you had what? You had mom?
I had both my parents.
You had both your parents. Okay, so did your parents raise you telling you that you were black and that you're...
I was able to choose.
So
I was actually given a choice. My mom asked me what I wanted to be recognized as.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
that's interesting. I never even took that into account.
She actually walked into my room and asked. Because
Huh.
she had to fill out some paperwork. And she asked
Okay.
me what I wanted to be.
Why couldn't you put whatever the word is for it?
The option was white or black or mixed.
So you're,
Okay.
And I told her I wanted to be black.
okay.
She said why. She actually asked me why. It's not like I didn't put thought into this either. Because my entire existence has been that. And I'm not going to be viewed as anything else.
Yeah.
Even if I was to say I'm mixed, that's not how I'm
You
gonna
meant
be
formally
treated.
on a piece of paperwork. I don't think your
Formally
mom
on a
ever
piece of paper. Yeah, formally
Your
on
mom would
paperwork.
walk up to you when you were like 2 years old and be like, "Hey, hey, you want to be black?"
No, I was like, I think I was.
I just mean.
I think I was like.
But
5 or
formally on a
6.
piece of paper, it was.
I think
this
I
is
was
what we're
5
gonna
or
do.
6 when she asked me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that's what, yeah. We actually had a conversation about it. I remember the conversation very clearly.
So-
and it was literally because that's how I told her that's how I'm going to be viewed for my entire life.
Okay.
I've already had at that point I had already been jumped every day by a kid up at the block because I'm black. I'd already had one interaction with the police because I was black, and I'd seen my father go through something because he was black and I was lumped into the same shit, and I was like, this is going to be my life.
Yeah.
So why would I pretend to be anything other than what I am?
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I would never be put in that position, so I can obviously give you no feedback on that because I have
Yeah.
no idea how I'd react to that.
No, I'm just surprised by that. I didn't know that you. It's cool that your mom did it that way. I'm kind of curious what she was thinking.
I'd like to ask her.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I just kind of like to know what her thinking on that idea was.
I think, honestly, my mom was very much a person who was about giving me my space to grow and give me my choice about most everything in my life. Which
That's
was
kind of good parenting.
which is the reason why, like, I mean, first, we were all latchkey kids. So it was, like, my parents were, like, I'd get up and leave just before my parents would leave for work. I'd come home, my parents would be gone. I'd most times be responsible for getting myself to my own practices and shit. And then my parents would meet me at, like, practice and shit. Then I'd go home with them. You know what I'm saying? I was by myself
Yeah, that was the same way. Dad worked so
the
many hours.
majority of the day.
I gotta find something to drink.
Every day, yeah, go for it. The majority of the day, every day. So I had a key to the house. I was watching my sisters, and I was that kid. So
Yeah.
I was, ask him. I was the 3rd grader who was on the bus stop smoking cigarettes, waiting for the bus to show up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Or if I was like, "Fuck the school bus, I don't want to take it. I'm taking the city bus today." Like I was that kid. Like I don't fucking need to go that way. I'm
I was
on
a
my
bike
own.
rider. I
You
rode
know
my
what I
bike
mean?
everywhere.
Yeah, I rode my bike. If I was for school, I couldn't ride my bike for school. But
Really?
yeah, like I couldn't ride my
Oh,
bike.
second
for
grade
school.
was the greatest grade ever because that's when second grade. Imagine that now.
I know,
Second
right?
grade, they were like, you can ride your bike to school and put it in the cage and lock it up.
Right.
So pumped. Second grade. Can you imagine that now? That'd be a lawsuit.
no,
The
no
child would be taken.
Yep. Like, what are you
Everybody would
doing?
be arrested.
Yeah.
There'd be a Children on Bikes Matter movement. There would be a fucking... It'd be crazy.
Well, the level of helicopter parenting that's expected of parents nowadays is absurd to me.
That's because kids aren't
But at
being
the
taught
same-
to be...
But at the same time,
I had a paper route at age 10.
They've pumped so much fear into society now, though, that like
Agreed.
parents are just like, I can't let my kid be fucking outside of my yard. They're gonna get kidnapped by somebody or raped
Yeah.
by the fucking neighbors. Or like I mean, like that. not to say that these things don't happen. I'm not saying that these events don't happen, but statistically, all of these crimes, those numbers are way the fuck down in comparison to what they were 20 years ago, and yet we keep our kids way tighter.
See, my neighborhood's better than that. Because our neighborhood's pretty solid. Because we got a lot of kids in there. We got the daycare right across the street. And man, kids are.
So you got kids all over the
We
place.
got kids
doing
everywhere.
stuff?
We got kids that ride scooters, screaming at the top of their lungs down the hill to the end of the corner, laugh all the way back up, rinse, repeat for hours.
Oh man.
No, we got kids out on bicycles.
Not around here. I
Yeah,
mean, like
it's
we
right-
got there's a couple of kids around here that run around and do.
Man, we
but
got kids
not,
everywhere.
Not many.
Really, that's
Not
sad to hear,
many.
man. That's sad to
Not
hear.
many.
Yeah, because I gotta say that. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see. God bless my son. He learned from me how to be a good dad. He watched me be a complete dipshit, and he's like, I ain't doing it like
Not
that.
doing that.
So, yeah. So I taught my boy well, not the way he probably wanted to learn it, but he did learn it. So, yeah, it's interesting to see how that's going to work because just the dynamic right now is amazing. It's so weird. But like I said, you said 8 years. I'm like, November's going to be absolute chaos, dude. November's going to be terrifying.
I'm not anticipating a great election cycle at all.
I am.
I don't think it's. I don't know. If,
I don't give
I
it-
just. I
it's
don't
not
think
the
it's all.
politics.
I don't think it's all going to go downhill.
I don't care who
yeah.
wins. I do care who wins. Let me rephrase that. Because, yeah. But I don't think it matters socially who wins. If Trump actually wins, there will be riots. If Biden wins,
There will be riots.
there will be socialism,
Well,
and then there will be riots. Because the first thing he's going to try and do is take away everybody's guns. And it's going to be
I don't
horrible.
think so.
Oh, really?
I don't think he will. No.
You don't think so?
No. No. I don't
I'm
think.
for low.
They're
I don't
pushing
think-
a socialist agenda.
I don't
when
think-
have you ever seen a socialist agenda pushed
I don't
when
think,
people are armed?
I don't think there will ever be a moment in time when the Second Amendment is ever legitimately a threat in this country and it's used as an argument to make people fight amongst each other.
I'm not fighting. I'm terrified of guns being taken away because they're,
Right, that's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah,
okay,
That's
so-
what I'm saying.
so
I
have
don't
you heard
think.
of-
I don't think they will ever legitimately take your guns, dude. Not either side.
not legitimately. Yeah, if you lose that word, because let's look at Virginia. Have you looked at the state of Virginia?
What happened in Virginia?
Virginia, they literally passed laws that said they were going to come around to people's houses and they were going to take their guns.
Did they do it?
No, because everybody deputized everybody in the county.
That's not going to happen. Like that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
But
Even if they want to say, like this is what I'm saying. The,
the
Second
state
Amendment
can't
will
do it.
never.
But imagine if the military backed it.
They won't. You have to remember, you're talking about your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your family members that are that have all taken an oath to protect the Constitution of the United States of America. You took that.
I did. I know that better than anyone.
You know what you have sworn to protect. So are you?
But it's
Are
not,
you as a soldier, as a veteran? This is an honest question.
Okay.
You're a vet, dude. As a veteran, do you honestly believe that your fellow fucking soldiers and shit are going to turn their back on the Constitution upon which they have sworn to protect? That Second Amendment is right there for you to be able to fucking
Okay.
keep that gun. Do you think they're fucking gonna actually mobilize to go to your house? Because they're your army. They're not the government's army, dude.
but the government's our government.
So
In theory, the government's our government, but
So-
that's not how they're treated anymore.
so
They're
if-
our representatives, not our leaders.
if they're generals, if you, I honestly ask, I honestly, so I'm not a vet, dude. I didn't serve, but
Okay, so-
all of the vets that I've talked to so far, except for you, I haven't asked you this question yet. The vets that I've talked to so far have all told me they're sworn to that Constitution
Yep.
and that Second Amendment. That's your fucking Second Amendment right. Even if the government was like, we're gonna go to the fucking, we're gonna take your guns. The army is like,
Okay,
Logistics.
here's the thing I have.
you have
That's
to
the
you
other
have you have to get the soldiers willingly to do that shit. They have to go against their oath, violate the Constitution upon which they've sworn to protect, to go to your house to take your gun. You think that you honestly believe they're going to mobilize the United States Army to go state to state, door to door, to collect guns from all of the Americans that have them, from all of the Americans that have how millions upon millions of guns with ammo.
What is it? 3 guns for every man,
For
woman,
every
and
man, woman, and child
in the United States.
in the United
It's 3
States, you
guns.
think the Army is really going to go door to door and start taking your fucking guns,
Do you
dude?
really think the Army has to?
I don't think they're going to. I don't
We
think
have
they would ever do
drones.
that, dude.
I don't think it happens.
I don't think it happens.
We have bots.
I don't think it happens.
Okay, I'm just
Period. I don't think it
I
happens.
think it's a logistical nightmare. I think
Yep.
that-
I'm just telling you, look, all it takes is to start in one place. Okay? This is what they're doing. This is what people do. Good, bad, pick a name. I don't give a shit who you say. If somebody's trying to accomplish something, they test the water. They got to see what's the reaction.
True.
I don't want to go all Captain America, Winter Soldier on you. But when you really look at the way they described Hydra is like, we tried to take your freedoms. When we try and take them, you freak the fuck out and fight back. If we fuck the world up so much with coronaviruses and riots and all these other stuff, you'll be so worried about your safety, you'll give up those freedoms.
You won't give up your guns, though.
You give up your freedoms, you're
won't-
giving up guns,
you won't
dude.
give up your guns.
Okay.
Dude. This is America. We're gun lovers here, dude.
I get it.
We will not give up guns.
Okay.
Not every gun. You're one of them. You will take this gun when you pry it from my cold dead
Oh,
fucking hands.
I agree wholeheartedly from you. I'm just
You know what I'm
saying.
saying? You know what I'm saying?
I think we're
That's
underestimating our ability as.
I
Look,
think you're overestimating
No,
the
no.
fucking reach of some individuals.
No, you got to look at. It's not going to be a mass invasion. They're never going to actually invade our homes all at one time. They're going to be like, oh, this place is. They've already think about this. Think about what they've just set precedents for.